This is Organizational Behavior Center.
Breaking news, Michael Scott, the two-time Salesman of the Year and head of Dunder Mifflin's most profitable branch, is stepping down as regional manager. So who will replace him?
Andy Bernard, not the top salesperson in the branch or even known as a great leader. Is he the man for the job? Dunder Mifflin seems to think so. Who is this man? What does he stand for? And is he the right leader for the Scranton branch? These answers and more coming up on this edition of Organizational Behavior Center.
The Dunder Mifflin corporate office is reporting that longtime Scranton branch manager Michael Scott is leaving the company for personal reasons. Early reports are that salesman Andrew Bernard will be his replacement. We've dug deep through our archives of previously recorded interviews to show you the two individuals at Scranton.
People say I am the best boss. They go, God, we've never worked in a place like this before. You're hilarious. And you get the best out of us. I think that pretty much sums it up. I found it at Spencer Gifts.
They say you should never mix business with pleasure. Really? Well, then explain to me how a putt-putt golf company operates.
This change in the organization will be a highly sensitive situation for the Scranton branch employees in transitioning to a new branch manager. The Dunder Mifflin corporate office should re-educate the employees of the Scranton branch through the logical model of a model for managing organizational change. This model consists of specific steps generally acknowledged as being essential to changing management and ultimately the success of the Scranton branch employees. Initiating successful change can be enhanced by Dunder Mifflin's corporate office by first actively supporting the managerial change, and second by demonstrating that support by implementing systematic procedures that give substance to the managerial change. For all this to take place, Dunder Mifflin corporate office should implement the model for management of organizational development. Let's break down each step of the model and utilize it as if we were analyzing the situation as an executive at Dunder Mifflin. Step 1. Forces of change. The forces of change that are affecting the employees at the Scranton branch is that they are now losing a beloved manager that they've had for many years. This transition will not be easy. Michael Scott has been the branch manager for a number of years, and he knows each member of his team personally and knows how to motivate each of them. Here's an example of Michael motivating his team.
What is the most inspiring thing I ever said to you?
Don't be an idiot. Changed my life. Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
Michael Scott's replacement, Andrew Bernard, is a sales rep with no managerial experience. This change will affect, step 2, the performance outcomes of the Scranton branch employees. As this footage shows Andy interacting with his fellow co-workers at Scranton branch.
Hold against your cheek.
I will.
You give me a gift, bam! Thank you note. You invite me somewhere, pow! RSVP. You do me a favor, wham! Favor returned. Do not test my politeness.
As previously stated, if the Dunder Mifflin corporate office invests in the managerial change, the transition will be a positive adjustment. In doing so, the corporate office must focus on step 3, diagnosis of the problem of implementing the new branch manager. To do this, the corporate office must focus on the information available, the participants of the office employees, and the change agent, Andrew Bernard. This will lead to step 4, selecting the appropriate method of immersing the new branch manager into the Scranton branch. Although the decision has been made to move forward with Andy Bernard as the new branch manager, the decision may be constrained by step 5, impediments and limiting conditions of Andy because of his lack of leadership skills, professionalism, and potential for resistance to change from the office employees, as illustrated in this interview.
Big Tuna is a super ambitious guy, you know, cut your throat to get ahead type of guy, but I mean, I'm not threatened by him. I went to Cornell. You ever heard of it? I graduated in 4 years. I never studied once. I was drunk the whole time, and I sang in the a cappella group, Here Comes Treble.
Taking all these elements into account with step 6, the implementation of the method, the Dunder Mifflin corporate office does have the correct timing with the hiring of Andrew Bernard. However, in the larger scope of things, the hire may not be a good fit at this time.
Several weeks ago, Andy Bernard had an incident. But after 5 weeks in anger management, I'm back. And I've got a new attitude, and a new name, and a bunch of new techniques for dealing with the grumpies.
And your stupid face!
and your stupid office! Ah!
He does not like that wall.
Finally, step 7, the program evaluation must be revisited by the Dunder Mifflin corporate office team to ensure that the managerial transition is seamless. Let's hear from some of the co-workers in the Scranton office on Andrew Bernard.
Andy Bernard, pros. He's classy, he gets me, he went to Cornell, I trust him. Cons, I don't really trust him.
I've got a Mad Lib for you. A stupid, idiotic, numbskull named Andy Bernard sold his Xterra to a smart and capable man named Dwight. This is shaping up to be an awesome day for Dwight.
All in all, in my expert opinion, I do not agree with the hiring of Andy as a new branch manager of Scranton Dunder Mifflin. I like Andy and I believe he has good core strong strengths. However, that being said, I do not believe that his managerial strengths have yet been fully realized. I believe that this hiring is premature and will be detrimental to Andy's advancement in the company. For further analysis, let's send it over to Jose and Melissa.
Thanks, Isaiah. As you said, Michael Scott has clearly established himself as the greatest boss ever as regional manager at Dunder Mifflin. As Andy Bernard transitions into this former role as regional manager, he must be aware of the undoubted obstacles he may face during this transitional period with the people of his organizations.
This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. I haven't had a very hard life.
As experts in the field of change leadership, my colleague Jose and I propose Cotter's 8-step model for a successful transition into regional manager for Andy Bernard. In order for this transitional period to be a success, it is crucial that Andy Bernard create a climate for the change in order to make the role of regional manager all his own. This is done in 3 specific steps, by first creating urgency, then by forming a powerful coalition, followed by creating the right vision for change. Creating urgency is going to be Andy's biggest challenge. His insecurities cannot get in the way of creating a positive change culture. In essence, Bernard needs to jump into his new role as regional manager with both feet and spark his subordinates to get things back up and going after Scott's resignation from the company.
When I was a salesman, I could just be like, not my job, not my prop. I'm going to the warehouse. But now, it is my job and my prop.
By preparing and putting all energy into building this urgency and remaining open and honest with his colleagues of any potential obstacles for the future, his team will likely succeed in this transition. Once Andy has set the stage for urgency, we recommend that he focus his efforts on building a powerful team that will support the mission and values of Dunder Mifflin. Because he shows a genuine concern for his colleagues and strives to be well-liked, Bernard has the ability to emotionally connect with key personnel in the organization. With many people dispersed over several departments of the company, Andy's disposal to bring together a great workforce is unmatched.
Okay, we all go together or we go one at a time. Here it is, here it is. Truck to refrigerators to dumpster, 360 spin onto the pallet, backflip gainer into the trash can. Yeah, gainer! Yeah! Parkour, parkour! Parkour, parkour! I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on! Yeah! Parkour.
In this step, it would be wise for Andy to utilize the expertise of new CEO Robert California to help establish continuous urgency and momentum in this transition. Once this guided team has been built, it is imperative for Bernard to create his vision for the success of Dunder Mifflin. He will undoubtedly have many ideas to be a successful branch manager, but he must link these concepts to an overall vision that works for both himself and his colleagues. It is clear that Bernard has a tendency to be overconfident at times, which, if not managed appropriately, could be the demise of his visionary process.
Andy Bernard does not lose contests, he wins them. Or he quits them because they're unfair.